Okay, today is July 28th, 2014, and yesterday was the infamous July 27th, 2014, in which iPhone Siri gave her uh, incredible response of opening gates of Hades. When you type in that response, ask it the question, and actually, if you ask her about May 14th, 2005, we've all been living in hell since then, she claims, which, I agree with this guy. Could be true, actually, but I would say it's probably been a lot longer than that. So, what they want to go ahead, one explanation for him, which I'll get to this in a second, is that this club here called Club Hades in Gates, New York, which is pretty amazing that it's called Hades and Gates, New York, Gates of Hades, which makes sense that could be accompanied with that date, but I just don't buy it because I'm just it's a sad explanation, and I can see there being something probably a little more important than a small crappy nightclub to be coinciding with that date. Um, I don't see them skipping that when they were beta testing the system. I don't see that happening. I see them catching things like that because it doesn't make any sense. But, obviously throwing jokes in there and things like that for man-made um, doomsday dates are very popular too. So for that, we'll just have to wait and see. But today is the 28th, and yesterday was the 27th. So there was a couple interesting things I found, and just my take on it, but a couple facts too. So let's go ahead and start with the day, July 27th. Okay. And if you go to it, there are some holidays and observances. Now, Christian Feast Day, if you look that up, which has to do with the liturgical year. So, this year is the liturgical year, also known as the church year or Christian year, and consists of the cycle of liturgical seasons in Christian churches that determines the feast days and is the celebration of saints. Okay, so let's go ahead, excuse me, and celebrating um, the the martyrs, which is the calendar of saints right here. Let me just bring this up a little so you can read. Is a Christian custom and annual commemoration of martyrs on the dates of their deaths or birth into heaven, um, which a date that is Latin is Dies Natalis, or day of birth. Okay, and it's used in these Orthodox churches and things like that. Um, Now it's back from the Middle Ages, or let's go ahead and put it in better terms, the Roman rites. Okay, the ranking of liturgical days is based on the Roman rites of the Christian church. We're talking about the Christian church now, or these so-called Christian churches. There's your liturgical rite used in the Diocese of Rome and the Catholic Church, and most widespread of the Latin liturgical rites. Okay, so in 2007, Pope Benedict here, the Summorum Pontificum, he continued the use of the form of 1962, the Roman Missal, which they which was an extraordinary form of, is a reformation of the Roman rites that they did back in 1954 and also 1960. So this thing has been changed around back and forth. They're bringing celebrations in, they're throwing things out. So it it's nothing concrete is in this, but yet the calendar of saints, which has to do with the Christian method. It's no Christian method that I recognize, although, Christmas and Easter and things like that are indoctrinated in it. So now that I've grown up and done more research and found out that Christmas is definitely not the day of Christ's birth, and Easter is not the resurrection exactly. Uh, these days are based in Roman times, which is all led by the Vatican and the Catholic Church. Now, another thing that this article shows is the Chinese Ghost Month. Okay, now he claims here, which this article was last year, that it would happen in July of this year, but this is wrong because it actually happens on August 10th of this year. That's when the Chinese will be taking taking their place in their Hungry Ghost Festival, Ghost Month, whatever you want to call it. And what they do, it's on the 15th day, the realms of heaven and hell and the realm of the living are open, and both the Taoists and the Buddhists would perform rituals to transmute and absolve the sufferings of the deceased. So they are worshiping the dead, worshiping false gods and idols. More of that has to do with a roundabout time of opening the gates of Hades. I mean, this is opening literally the gates of hell, they believe, to have to give offerings to the dead and to go ahead and make peace with the underworld, which is very interesting. But here's a couple pages here of what, okay, Catholic bishops, United States Conference of Catholic Bishops, and they have the same readings, their daily readings based on the Roman rites, the Psalms, the Gospels, Matthew, Romans. If you look at those numbers real quick, and you'll see that this Catholic Online, which is a different website and everything, same readings. First Kings, Responsorial Psalms, the Gospels of Matthew, and Romans. So, of course, good readings, no doubt, but these are all based on the Roman rites, which is basically the worshiping of martyrs of the dead. I mean, worshiping of martyrs, that sounds pretty close to Muslim, doesn't it? That sounds really close to that kind of belief system, which is funny because Ramadan actually begins on June 28th and is believed at this time when the gates of paradise are opened and the gates of hell are closed for 1 month. When Ramadan ends, which is actually today, then the gates of hell are reopened, and which probably would explain why they like to do suicide bombs so much, because they are killing us demons that live in this hell on earth. So I found that very interesting, and that these all coincide within the same time. Now Siri says that it's opening the gates of hell. In all these religions, the Catholics, the Muslims, the Buddhists, the Taoists, and the wannabe Christians, the not quite informed Christians, all believe basically the same thing. They're all celebrating in one form or the other this this special year, and this is a special year if you can just pay attention to the world around you. Now, what I found that was extra special was this giant crater that they found in Russia, and just look at how beautiful this thing is. It's in the Yamalo-Nenets region, about 2,000 kilometers from Moscow. I guess they found these about a month ago, so not too far off from the widespread celebrations of all other religions. And they claim this is in a permafrost region where lots of natural gas deposits and refineries are, so they're talking about it could be natural gas explosion and buildup. I don't know, honestly. That's just such a beautifully carved hole. It would have to be definitely something supernatural or extremely natural to cause such an explosion. This thing is 130 feet across, so it's pretty damn huge. And but anyway, they sent a bunch of teams of scientists and geologists and things like that out there. They're going to go ahead and study this thing, so we can't wait to find out what they find. But there you go. So you have your information on everybody believing in the gates of hell opening and closing in this special year on this time. We have the blood moons taking place, so there's signs everywhere in the heavens and on the earth, and this could be one of your gates of Hades opening up right here. So honestly, let's hope not, but just thought that was very interesting, and give you guys a little insight on what's going on. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.